Hey guys, Amanda here. I asked on Facebook in the really awesome group Tumblers for Beginners if anybody wanted to learn how to make the tumbler turners without either paying somebody, because I'm a huge DIYer and I usually spend more money trying to figure out how to make it myself rather than paying somebody, but not in this case, which I was really excited about. I'm going to do a video with standard tools, and then I'm going to actually type a description on some alternatives if you don't have standard tools. They should work just as good, not sure. There's definitely a difference between using a threaded screw and wood glue, but I think for what we're trying to do, it'll be okay for a while. So let's get started. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you all the tools and materials that I use to build the base of this turner. This is one that I got inspiration from Mr. Coop after countless hours of searching for videos on YouTube. Mr. Coop is the inspiration. I have to give him credit for this project. I'm just going to show you and explain to you the tools, why I use them, and what they were used for. Yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I use is wood glue. This is Tybon. Get it at your local Lowe's or Home Depot. All the stuff you can buy at Lowe's or Home Depot. One-stop shop, hopefully. This is great. Tybon premium wood glue. Nothing special. If you want to use Gorilla wood glue, do it. If you want to use your local brand, do it. Next thing I used was 1 1/8 Forstner bit. This is really cool. So what this is going to do is drill the hole that the PVC pipe sits in. I've tried a few different types of them, made countless runs back to Lowe's. I bought this one at Lowe's. And this is the one that I have found to use the best. It's an Irwin Marples 1 1/8. The 1 1/8 inch Forstner bit is going to work for your 3/4 PVC. So it's 3/4 of an inch PVC. That's what I am working with. And so that's what I'm going to show you all of what the tools that would work with that size are. Next thing I invested in was a countersink. Really helpful. This allows the board to sit flush on your platform. So these are single turners, which you can move anywhere that you want them to be able to sit anywhere. So this is what it looks like, and what it does, it creates a divot, a little hole, and I'll show you what it does exactly when we go to build. But this is the end product. These guys right in here. It allows the head of the screw to sit flush within the wood so that it's not sticking up. Super helpful. I think it also makes it look nicer. I also used 1 1/4 inch wood screws. Nothing fancy. I used these on another project that I had used. They're gray. I like the color better. Nothing too fancy. 1 1/4 inch. Measuring tape. I have a pencil around here somewhere. I used a handsaw, Ryobi. Love Ryobi. Not endorsed by them. I could be. I have enough of their stuff. I have the Ryobi cordless power drill. And I also have the Ryobi drill bit. This is super helpful. This is a 31-piece drilling and driving kit. I think it was 20 bucks. I bought it a while ago at Home Depot. And I will show you exactly and specifically which pieces that I used to build this, but it's all you need. I actually only used a few of these. Yeah, I only used a few of these on this project. And of course the drill bits to screw in the screws. But other than that, you probably could get away with just getting just a few of these things. So I also went and I got a 5-inch by 6-foot piece of wood. I always check forward and on top to make sure it's not bowed, crooked. As long as it's not awful, I think it'll work for you. So that's a 5-inch wide by a 6-foot long. For the base, and that's for the housing, for the base, I used an 8-inch wide board by 6 foot as well. All these are by 1 inch thick, which is actually a 1/4 inch. They sell you 1 inch. I don't know why we have to be weird and not use what it really is, but that's okay. because it's fine. So that's what I used. If there's anything else that I use that I haven't said here for the building part, message me if you have questions. But yeah, let's check out how to build the turner. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you how to make the turner now. This one is already assembled. I'm going to show you how to make it, but please don't just follow this video. I'm going to show you how I actually installed it when I went to put it and set it up in the turner. Okay, I'm just going to kind of show you the idea behind it and why it does what it does. So I got these 3 things from Amazon. It is an 8-foot, just typical GE lamp cord. I had actually already installed it, but I will show you what I did in order to attach it to these switches. These switches were really cheap, also from Amazon, just a typical on-off turn switch. Super helpful, so you don't have to unplug and replug. This is a TYC microwave motor. I saw this on another video, Mr. Coop, super awesome video he made. This is a 50 to 60 hertz, 4 watts, 5 to 6 rotations per minute microwave turner. A lot of people have had success with these. These are a lot cheaper to replace than the rotisseries, and it's a lot smaller and more compact, and I need 4 screws rather than the whole setup that it asks for on that. I have these. They're 1/4 inch wood screws. Probably really difficult to see. 1/4 inch wood screws that I used to secure this to the back of the wood, or yeah, to the back of the housing. Okay, so I used 4 of those. This is how the motor sits in the housing after it's done. So I have the motor that I have the 4 screws in, a small hole on the bottom so that I can run my wires into the front, and then just a little opening on the side. This was a makeshift. I didn't plan on doing this, but this hole was not big enough when I had started, so I went ahead and did this, and it's okay, but I will make modifications for this video when we put them together. But all these wires get housed in here, and the switch is on the outside. Super convenient, and it's actually rotating because I have it plugged in. So let's put it together. I have just a standard blade. I took it from my roommate because I don't know where mine is. So what we're going to do, I'm going to come see, is there's wires on the inside of this coating. Okay, so I'm going to take it, probably not the best way, I just don't have wire strippers, and so I'm just going to take it and cut the end of these off. I'm making sure that I do not cut into the wires. You don't want to cut into the wires. I don't know what will happen, but I don't think it would be good. So I expose the wires. All of them. So I'm left with this little bundle of wire endings. You're going to need those. Okay? So I just take my, these are in a set that I had, just like that. I don't know if it's focusing on it. Nope, it's not. There you go. Just like that. These are going to go wrapped around these when we go to make it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. Okay, be careful with your fingers, please. If you are someone that is in a occupation of safety and you're cringing at this, I apologize. But I am young and reckless, I guess, is what they are calling it nowadays. And trust my fingers. So, here we go. We are exposed. See that? Well, no, you don't. See that? There you go. So, I'm going to take those bundles. Nothing left in this blue piece. I am going to cut it. Careful not to cut the wires off. So now I have 2 exposed pieces. Excuse my fingers, I bite my nails. It's a nervous habit. Can't help it. And then you get your electrical tape. Forgot about that. Sorry if you have to pause the video to go find electrical tape. Yes, you do need electrical tape. It keeps the wires safe, not regular tape. It's really cheap at Walmart. I will put it in the description, so hopefully you look at that before the video. But just standard black electrical tape. So, the end of the wire is going to come, and you're going to want to split it. Okay, pull it apart. Not very far, but pull it apart. Take one end of the wire, and you're going to want to twist it. Just like that. See? Not graceful. So I just take it, I lay it flat, just like that, and just wrap it to create a protection. Because there will be an electric current running through this, and we do not want to be on the open end of it. Just kidding, it just wouldn't work. Okay, I put 2 pieces per piece. Wow, kind of messy. Excuse my messiness. If you want to use a different color, go for it. Black, you're not going to see these, and so that's what it looks like. Bam. So then, we are going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, mind you, remember when I said at the beginning of this part of the video that we do this once we thread the motor cord through the opening in the box. So if you're following me, stop now. You don't want to have to undo it like I did. Huge mistake the first time. Yes, I made it. Here we go. Like I said, it doesn't have to be pretty. But do make sure that it is pretty tight. I go back and forth. Like I said, I put 2 coats, not paint, 2 pieces. So what this does, when you entangle the wires, is that it allows the electricity from the lamp cord to run through the metal little pokies of the Turner cord and power the motor. How cool is that? Just like that. So what you just did for $10, maybe $12, is what you're going to pay $40. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. My camera died. Convenient. Okay, now we are going to get in. Let me focus on this guy. Nope, come on. On this clip. So what I did, I already did it, but I'll show you how. Go down about 6 to 10 inches, your preference. Take your cord, I'll show you down here. It's not going to hurt it. Make sure you can see. And not really safe. You want to cut an opening. I'm not going to do anything with this opening, but cut an opening and pull it apart. You guys see that? Okay, what you're going to do is in the middle of one, take your cutters, cut it. That's what you see here. okay? Now there's two pieces to this. You have the one with the little spoke and the one without. We are going to use the one without in this part. Okay, you see how it houses this piece? Let me see if I can get it to focus. See how it's got that little housing on it? Make sure it's on the right side or it's not going to work, okay? So this little U-shaped piece, the piece that you did not cut, that we want to shove it in there. Okay. Shove it on in there. So it looks like this. Okay, you guys see that? I'm going to take this piece. Now, if it's too long, you want to cut it. See how it lines up? I already cut this one to line up because I didn't realize I was going to do this video. See how that sits in there? If it's too long, cut it. You want it to sit right on in there. And the other piece to do the same. Cut off little bits because you can always cut off more, but you can't replace. Alright, so this is what it looks like. Super easy. Then we take this piece. It's got these two gold prongs. See those? On either end. They are going to, you can see the marks on this. See them over here? They're going to pinch in there and they're going to control that current. So, what I do, just push it on in there. Doesn't really matter which way. Take your screwdriver and just tighten it. Super simple. Now, when you're unpackaging these, make sure there's a little hex on the end of that. See that little nut? Hex nut? Super important. If that falls out or you lose it, you're not going to be able to get this piece tight and clamped down. You need to make sure that you do not lose this piece. Okay? I did. And it took me quite a while to find it. So, let me grab my extension cord. Okay, so I'm going to plug it in. Let's see. And bada bing, bada boom. We are rotating. See it? Just like that. Super simple. It's like that. Now I'll show you how we're going to start assembling. See y'all in a minute. Okay, y'all, I'm going to talk now about how to build the housing. I did this not as tall as I would like it, so I'm going to go a little bit taller. I went to McCoy's a while ago and I was doing some Scrabble pieces and I wanted to do 6x6 squares. So, went to McCoy's, which is a building lumberyard. You can get this at Home Depot. These actually measure out to 5.5 inches across. It's not really 6, it's 5.5. Can't even see it. Sorry, 5.5. So I wanted 5.5 inches tall also. So these were actually for a Scrabble piece if you want to use them. Great idea for a Scrabble piece. I did my dog's name since I don't have any kids and I'm not married. I did my dog's name and loved it. So I had some extra pieces of that. So I thought, let me use that to show you guys that you can use pieces that McCoy's or Home Depot or your local lumber yard can cut for you. So I asked the guy to cut them into 5.5 inches lengthwise so that it would be a square, perfect square. So I have 4 of these. It's going to be a box. Alright? Beauty of it is, when they cut it for you, 90% of the time it's straight. When I cut my own, 60% of the time it's straight, since I do it all by hand. But this is what it's gonna look like. We have a box, okay? Now let me show you how we are going to get it on the board. Okay, this is what we had. We are going to make a second version, better version. Make sure you can see this. Perfect. When I first measured this out, I followed Dr. Coop, and this is about 20 inches. I think it's too short. I think I might make it 30 inches. This piece left over from that is 52 inches. 52 divided by 2 is 26, so I am going to cut a 26-inch board. We can see the lengthwise. If it's a good length, we're going to add 6 inches to this board for the single turner board, and hopefully it'll give us a little bit better stability for the base. Use my handy dandy speed square. Line it on up. Okay. So now, 2 pieces, 26 inches wide. I'm going to go cut it, and I'll bring it back. So I figured some of you might want to actually see how I do this. So I'm just going to do this on the board. This board that I made. I said, cordless handsaw. I'm going to take my speed square. I need to do it off so I don't rip a hole in this. Can you see? Yes, sort of, but enough. Okay, so I'm going to take it to where my edge measures up. I guess in every instructional video they tell you to wear safety glasses. I don't. But you should. You should wear them. So, just like that. Really easy. The people at your hardware store are probably going to put it in a different type of saw, but that's what I got and that's what I use. So, boom. So now here's my other piece for my next tumbler, turner, that I'm going to set aside. So you can sand that down if you want, block sander or not. Really doesn't matter. I'm not going to sand it down because it's not going to be finished. If I had made one for somebody, I would sand it down, stain it, make it really pretty. But it's not the case, so I'm not going to. Cool. So what I'm going to do, I am going to take this piece, and this is going to be, let's see, I want to do the bottom. Doesn't really matter, it looks the same. So this is going to be my bottom piece. I'm going to line this up how I want them. Okay? Like I said, they're a square. Can't mess it up. This is how I want it to be. Okay? What I'm going to do, take a pencil, make sure it's straight. What's that saying I learned in high school? Good enough for government work? Okay. Pencil. And I'm going to make a line for each piece. I'm going to make a piece on the inside, where it ends, and a square. corners. Cool. So I'm going to go in and finish these out, and I'll show you in a second what it looks like. Okay. Ooh, sorry, I kicked you. This is what I got, and we are looking at the bottom, remember, of our board. So, you have these knots, they're totally fine, they won't do anything. I'm going to guesstimate the middle of these bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Okay. Well, they're 5.5, so half of 5.5 is 2 3/4. No. Yeah, 2 3/4. So, got 2, and it's not right because this is 1. So I got 1, 2, and 3/4. So somewhere between there. Math wasn't my strong suit. So I just made an X approximately in the middle. Okay? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now is what we're going to take. It's actually not in this set, but I keep it in here. Remember that countersink piece that we talked about? Well, here we are. This is what we are gonna deal with if it focuses ever. Countersink. 82 degrees, 1/2 inch. Let me show you what it does. Okay. Take my drill, tighten it up in there. And in the middle of these X's, I'm going to make sure that they're the same on each side. So, alright, I can do this. Run it right through the middle. To make sure that they line up. Cool. Okay? So I'm going to take my drill bit, stick it in the middle. And drill. Okay, watch. When I go to drill my screw in, I want it to sit in the hole so that it sits evenly on my surface. Okay, I think that'll do. So, you can either do the pilot holes first, or, yeah, the pilot holes that I'm about to show you, or the countersink holes first. So the countersink hole is used with the countersink drill bit. So this one that I pulled out is a 9/64. But you can use a 5/32 or a 1/8, anything to get the hole started. I'm going to drill what's called a pilot hole. Pilot hole is a small hole, small in diameter, and what it does is that it guides your screw straight. So, this is where my countersink hole is going to go. Gonna drill it through. And it's a hole straight through. So I can either do that first and then go back and do the other one, or I can do the countersink and then drill the hole. if you don't plan on using screws, skip forward and we'll just glue it. But if you do, I think would make it sturdier. Keep watching. So I'm gonna go do the other two and I'll be back. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to create the two pieces at the hole for the PVC pipe and the motor. So this piece and this piece. A lot of people say that you don't need the side pieces for the housing. I prefer it. I think it makes it sturdier. If you don't want to put the side pieces on, then so be it. But that's what I'm going to show you because that's what I think works best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch down from the, oh wow, sorry. 1/2 inch down from the top. And if it's not clear, I'll show you in a second. Measure 1/2 inch down. And I'm going to make a line. I'm going to take my PVC pipe, okay, line it up. This is what Mr. Coop does. So, and draw a line at the bottom. This is going to do, is going to give you the exact middle. It's going to give you the exact middle for this PVC pipe, and then we're going to drill with this Forstner bit the hole. Don't need the screws right now. So I'm going to take it from the corner to the other corner, draw a line, corner, the other corner, draw a line. So the middle of my thing is going to be right smack dab there. Now I'll bring it up and show you. Okay. So 1/2 inch down, drew a line. Put the PVC to get the diameter here. Drew another line, drew a line across. Made an X, and in the middle of the X is my middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the edge of this Forstner bit. I will start it here, and I'm going to drill. It's going to go in my screwdriver, and I'm going to drill the hole. Now, here's a trick. Before you do that, double it up. You want them to be the same height, right? Coming in and going out. So, see how I have two here? Make a sandwich, hold it down, clamp it down. I just use these cheap ones. And I'm going to clamp first this part, and then I'm going to clamp it to my workbench and drill a hole. So I will go and do that now. Be right back. Okay, I am back with my holes. Unclamp them. See? So now you have two holes that are spaced the same. So this is going to be your front, the front hole. So if you can see here, this one's going to sit here, and this one is going to sit on the inside. And on this side, this one, we are going to go ahead and drill a few more holes so we can fit the cords through it. Okay? So, let's line it on up. There in the middle. Side pieces are there for fun. We've got the back piece. See how we did that there? So now it's time to glue. We are going to glue the housing together, let it sit and dry, and then we will attach it. So, Titebond glue. I'm going to glue these 3 on first. I just use my finger. Use a brush. You want to put a liberal amount on, but not crazy. And line it up. And let it do its thing. This, my friends, is the beginning of the house. Okay, so I'm back. Just drilled those holes. So in the bottom, I used this 5/16 drill bit, and I used a 3/16 drill bit, and both of those are in that Ryobi set that I had bought. If you wanted to go a little bit bigger or smaller, I would not go smaller on this bottom cord since you have that lamp cord that's going to come out of here. But you can go bigger, and you can go bigger on the blue cord too. This is just personal preference, which you guys are more than welcome to also. I am actually going, well, let's do it together. This is what it happens. See, it's not flawless. Nothing ever is. I'm going to go ahead and put the motor on the back of the sheet before I attach it to the other piece. Okay, so I'm going to grab my screws, wherever I put them, because I'm not organized. And I'm going to zoom y'all in. We are going to get closer so you can see. Sweet. Okay, so like I said, I am using TYC 50 to 60 hertz, 4 watt, 5 to 6 rotations per minute. Some people get the slower ones. I think there's a 3 to 4 option, and I got these on Amazon. And there's also a 10 to 12 rotations per minute. I thought this was a happy medium. I really liked it, so I went with this one. So I just have my standard drill bit for my drill. And I take the smallest one, throw it on in there. But remember how we made pilot holes in the last video? We are going to do the same in this one. And pick 7/16. Probably wouldn't go any bigger than that. That's what I'm going to do. Or no, 7/64. Sorry, I don't do math, remember? Like I said, I wouldn't go any bigger, but I am going to go smaller. I'm going to go to 3/32. And like, this is all in that Ryobi set that I was using. Really sweet. So I'm going to take it, and when I held it up, see how I already put holes? I drew pilot holes. See my little circles? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to drill the pilot hole in there. Easy peasy. Now, I will probably fast forward through this piece because y'all get the idea. But I'm going to take this piece, set it down, and take my screws, set them bad boys in here. Hopefully you can see this. 4 holes, 4 screws. Take my drill bit out. Now y'all, I started woodworking / crafting a lot after college because I had a job and then I came home and did nothing. So wanted to do something, also needed to make a little bit extra money. So I started crafting, and everything that I've learned, I learned on YouTube. So you gotta start somewhere. It's not easy, a lot of investment, I guess, in the beginning, but it's totally worth it. So I'm gonna secure all of these down. Perfect. So as you can see, my hole is in the middle. Let's grab our PVC pieces, if I can find them. What's really nice about this is, like in the down video, I had to worry about it hitting here. See how much room we have? No, you don't? See how much room we have? Look, it's all the way on. So after I will glue this piece. Probably don't even need to glue it with how freaking hard it is. Just slide that on in there, and bada bing, bada boom. There we are. Wow, you did not see any of that. I'm so sorry. Okay, here we go. See? Boom. Done. Get a turn. It's not hitting any of the edges. Fantastic. Okay. So we have this attached. Now, what we're going to do, you're going to thread it through. Okay, beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, and I am going to make my attachments with the tape that I don't have over here. With my tape and my lamp cord. Now, I did another video, if you haven't watched it yet, I explain and focus a lot more on this. I'm going to kind of go quickly since we did that. Recap, take them. This is the same one, I took the tape off. Twist. Tape. You know, I did take physics in college. Not sure I could really tell you specifically details, embarrassingly, because it wasn't that long ago. But this just helps the electricity flow so that it can get to the switch, and as you switch it on and on, you're going to allow the current and not allow the current. So when it's on, you're going to open the circuit. Well, it's going to be a closed circuit. You're going to open the electricity flow, and then when you switch it off, you're going to open the circuit so that the electricity does not make it to the motor. And if I totally explained that wrong, sorry. But that's how I remember it. And once you do this for one motor, once you do this for one turner, you could probably cut all your pieces of wood at the same time, and you could probably do 3 of them at the same time. So there we have it. Completed motor. And this is where our turner is going to go. Don't mess up like me. I will make a comment when I do this part. But we need to make sure that we thread the lamp cord through the hole before we connect it. for the like 10th time today, I will be redoing this. Hey guys, I'm back. Messed up, I'm not doing it again. But as you can see, wiring is done. So this sets right in there. I'm gonna glue it now. You can choose to clamp it or not. I don't know. If you want it extra sturdy after it's glued, you can go in with a nail gun if you have one. I have one to put borders on my wood signs that I make. Probably won't do it unless it starts falling apart. But if you're paranoid, like I once was, you should do it. So I make sure this is even. Steven. Now, because my hardware store cut them, and they're all squares, I'm going to pray that this lines up. Will it? Will it not? It's kind of the joy and the thrill, I guess, of crafting. Is it going to work in the end? I really hope it does, because we worked hard on this, didn't we? So, that is that. That is the box, hardware box that everyone is raving about. $9 motor, $3 cord, 75-cent switch. I think it's like a $7 board, $1 something electrical tape. I don't know what that adds up to, but it's probably $20. Then you have your PVC pipe, and all your couplings. So you're probably looking right about $30, $35 if you want to build a nice sturdy one. So I'm going to let this dry, and I will be back so we can put the final box on the board, assemble it. Okay, so now we're going to secure the bottom piece to the board. So remember, turn this upside down. Alright, turn it upside down. So you're gluing it right side up. I extended my lines from where the lines that I had drawn earlier to the side. Okay. I'm gonna line it up as best I can. With on the right side. It's like, wait, that doesn't look right. See, we all make mistakes. It's fine. It's my motto in life. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. So then I take my 1 1/4 inch. And I already pre-drilled all my holes, remember? Be super easy. So I'm just going to stick them in. Getting attacked by bugs because we live in the South. Okay. Here we go. Boom. You do the two ends first. Boom. Boom. Oh. Oh, stop booming. One more. And here we are. So this is the bottom. Looks just like the other one, just nicer. And here we are. We have a full turner. Let me plug it in for you. I actually didn't test this before at this part of the video, so I'm going to pray it works. And my motor is on and spinning. Let me put on a PVC pipe so I can prove it. It was just really quiet, so it scared me, but we're fine. All right. Remember what we got. Okay. We've got a piece that has two female endings on it. Okay. Take one of them off. This screws in here. This piece is gonna, remember, we had the 1/4 to the 1/2 coupler, which it wasn't a, I don't know what it was. I'll show you the bag again in a second. into the 1/2, 3/4. Screws in. This is a 3/4 female coupler piece. I'm gonna have to do this. So this goes on in here. PVC piece goes on. Boom. See? So this piece doesn't move. This piece is always here. And let me show you how nicely it sits. So this is the front. See how nicely it sits? Now I can adjust it a little bit. So when I hold it this way, it does not hit on any side. That's what we got. Zoom back out. So then, you have this fun piece that we just learned about and discovered with this adapter thing that I will glue in here. Pop, throw it, then pop it on. All you have to do is put this guy on. Not even super tight, just hand tight. Right? We're still plugged in, and it's turning. So then I can go and grab a tumbler. I'll turn it off first. One of these isn't. I haven't glued it yet, so there you go. So it's not really secure. Now it is. Put a tumbler on. And it's not hitting the bottom. Okay, it is pretty sturdy. And I just need to glue it and it'll... And voila! You got yourself a tumbler. I think the 26-inch base is fantastic. I'm gonna show you guys how to glue it up now. See, we are rotating. This piece will be glued, and this piece will be glued. There will be no movement, and it'll be straight, so you don't even have to worry about your tumblers rotating funny. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna make, I think this is one more video. At least I'm gonna make a video on how to glue PVC. Something that I was not really familiar with, but I'm gonna get familiar with it because I think it's good practice. I might make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to show you one. These things are like $1 something. I would suggest, highly suggest, to get a few. I just messed up on the previous one. It was the first time that I glued PVC pipe by myself. I glued it with someone else, but never by myself. So read the directions. It's a little rusty. They were out in our shed. But I'm going to use Ote purple primer. I think these come in a set. And Ote regular clear PVC cement. You need both if you want it to do a good job. So this piece was 4 inches, I believe, is what. Yeah, 3.5. I'm gonna make one an extra inch. So I'm gonna make one 4.5-ish. Whatever size when you dry fit it, they're going to go on a lot easier just because of how smooth the two liquids are. That's what I made a mistake with this one. The previous size that I had mentioned was too short. So this one was a 7-inch PVC piece, and if it works, I'm going to do an overview at the end. 7-inch PVC, waiting for that to dry. So I'm going to do a 4.5-inch piece. I guess I will just do it here with everyone and cut it. If I can find, here we go. You know what? Let's just make it 5 inches. Just make it 5 inches. So that when you have a foot of PVC, you can cut it between 5 and 7 inches. Let's do it. Okay, so I made a mark. Lining it up. Nope, scoot on over, bud. Okay. And do what works for you. If you want a longer piece, you know, dry fit it. Take what I say with grain of salt. And if you want a longer piece, do a longer piece. See, so this is what we had. That's what we're going to work with. I promise you it's probably going to end up about the same size fitting that we are going to work with. So I'm just going to do one side. Y'all will get the idea. Start with the purple primer cement. Make sure you're in a well ventilated area. There's a lot of chemicals in here that's going to cause a reaction, and you'll be able to smell it without even wafting it when you open it. So the first thing I'm going to do, follow the directions. Apply a coat of the purple primer inside. Okay? Inside. You want to work quickly. You don't want it to dry. And do it, you know, eyeball it. Do it enough. Don't soak it, but put enough in to where it's coated. Close your lids. Don't leave your lids open, especially if you have kids, pets, whatever running around. Close your lids. Well, close them anyway, but even more so. While it's still wet, take the cement, apply it to both parts. You know, liberal, not overpowering. You don't want it to puddle. And slide it in. Hold it. It says hold it for 15 seconds, let it sit for 30 minutes for use. But see how it'll pop out? Maybe, maybe not. Hold it. It's all over my hands. I'm not going to clean it until it's dry, because it's just going to make a mess and I want them to look pretty. So I'm going to hold it. They're all over my gloves. Wear gloves if you don't want this on your hands. I would highly suggest it. It'll probably stain too. So there we go. So you repeat the process on the two female pieces. Let me take my gloves off. On the two female pieces here, right? So we're going to put another bearing on this other side. Remember, so this one of them is going to attach to the motor, and one of them is going to attach to this fun guy. And then we're going to do the same with the female attachment, or the male attachment on the other side. Okay? Okay, so here we are. We made it through the day. A lot of you have these footballs and have them on the PVC. If you have a female coupler, awesome. It'll work on one of these too. If you don't want to do this method, this universal method, by all means, do what works for you. This is a little bit heavier than the football, but you've got a pretty secure system here that it shouldn't really matter. So So the only piece that I did not glue, that not PVC glue, is this coupling piece because I want to be able to pull it out. Okay, now I pushed it in there and there's no reason that any of this should be coming apart. And there you have it. A rotating rotisserie. Well, it's not even a rotisserie because you don't use a rotisserie. Rotating part. If you want this to be shorter, make it shorter. If you want this to be shorter, make it shorter. I like it long. Might have made it a little too long. But it's all personal preference. I'm going to take this out. Let me show you that it still works. What makes it nice too is that you can get the different sizes of these, and these are all universal. So if you get this 3/4 inch PVC accessory pieces, it's going to be the same. See, and these even still fit. That one, I don't even remember which one that one goes on. I think this one. Yep. So, snug as a bug in a rug. We are rotating. It's quiet. It's beautiful. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, rude remarks, nice remarks, please, by all means, leave them in the comments. I'm really hoping that this helps a fellow DIY, Tumbler, crafter, whatever you are. Helps you out. So, hope you have a good day. Hope you like the video.